I don't like dogs. I don't like dogs at all. I can't be alone here. Comment below if you feel the same. But I think dogs are big. A lot of them. I think they're big and dangerous. I think they smell bad. I think their slobber's disgusting.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm playing with my equipment that allows me to give some dog sounds. Let me do that one more time. Let's let him finish.
I think they stink. Okay, no, I don't want your dog to touch me. I don't want your dog to touch me. I don't want your dog to jump on me. I don't want your dog to lick me. I don't want your dog slobber on me. You can talk to your dog in puppy voices all you want. I don't think your dog's cute. I'm not going to talk to, oh, look at Charlie. I'm not going to do none of that. I don't like them. I also think they're dangerous.
I know a dog named Charlie.
I think that they're dangerous. Like, they bite, right? Like, how many dog attacks are there per year? I think that dogs are dangerous, and I think that the whole dog culture, everybody's just obsessed with dogs, and I have no idea why. There's also like this huge push that a lot of like parents have where they're like obsessed with like integrating this dog with like a small child or a newborn baby. Like, oh, we got to make sure that the dog doesn't feel left out and it's around the newborn enough. Like, no, the dog don't need to be around the baby. The dog doesn't need to be, if it's a big dog, no, it doesn't need to be around some small kid.
Let me say this. This is his opinion, and it should be respected. I I am of the perspective that I have boundaries with animals in general, and I know people with dogs, and as long as they respect my boundaries, I'm I'm okay with you know honoring their boundaries as well. Well, I'm always going to honor their boundaries regardless, but I don't. I want to make sure they understand my. If I'm not comfortable with a dog, I don't want it to be near me or sniffing on me. And I think it's important for dog owners to realize that you know there are a lot of people who aren't comfortable with your pets and they take it personal. And I've been bit, I think 2 or 3 times. I have a couple scars. I have 2 scars for sure from it, but I think I was bit a third time. I just can't pinpoint it when I was younger. Um, and my biggest issue with dogs is the dog owners, because dog ownership to me is where the problem lies. Dog ownership and companies who, or should I say, housing developments and apartment complexes that are looking to capitalize on it, on dogs in their community rather than the safety and the well the keeping up of the community. That's where a lot of my problems lie, because dogs are only doing what their owners allow them to do, and dog owners are only doing what communities allow them to do. At the end of the day, it's like trying to blame a child when it's the parents who are allowing the child to do certain things. I don't think most people are clean. I don't think most people are good at anything. And that's not being disrespectful. What I mean by that is most people aren't good at money. That's why financial literacy is a problem. Most people aren't good at communicating. That's why communication is a huge issue. Most people aren't active and taking care of their bodies. That's why, healthcare and wellness is a big thing. Most people just don't do well with okay, even as parents, most parents aren't great parents. That's why when people see children behaving well and parents being great, they're like, oh my goodness, your kids are so well behaved. You're such a great parent. Like you're complimented because it's not normal. Um, and that same thing goes with dog owners. Most dog owners aren't good dog owners. They let their dogs poop and leave poop everywhere. They don't keep their dogs clean the way they should. They don't, pick up after them. They don't train them properly, and they also don't follow rules. They always have them, like not always, but a lot of times they have their dogs off the leash because they're so impressed by their dog's behavior, quote unquote, that even when people are uncomfortable, they're like, oh, um, it's not a big deal. It's like, no, people are really uncomfortable, especially with big dogs being off the leash. I remember one time I was getting ready to get on the elevator at my place, and the elevator opened up, and there's two massive dogs, a huge pit bull and a cane corso. If you're familiar with those breeds, those are large animals. Those are very intimidating animals, and I'm not necessarily afraid of them. I'm uncomfortable with how the owners um, typically don't have them on a leash, and they just want you to be comfortable. Like, there's no way I'm getting in an elevator where I could be mauled to death by two big animals, and the owner don't have them on a leash. It's behaviors like that, that makes me uncomfortable with, like, being in um, dog environments where there are a lot of animals, like a lot of dogs specifically. I do think some of his take is a bit, harsh, because I think there are some dog owners who try to be accountable, and like anything else, there are always going to be people who make it worse on others. But um, for the most part, he's just expressing his opinion, and there are extremes. There are a lot of extremes. I see people carrying their dog in their arms while they're cooking, like they're it's just a lot going on, man. Humans are interesting and annoying all at the same time. But let me let him finish.
Because then when that dog wants lunch one day and bites, like, what is this? It's like there's this like switch that goes off in people's brain where it's like, oh, you don't like a dog? How dare you? Is there something wrong with you? Like, no, is there something wrong with you? Is there something wrong with you? Like, I don't want to live with a 80-pound wild beast in my room. No, I don't want something that is like an outdoor wild animal. No, I don't want something that craps all over and pisses all over. No, like, I don't want it. I don't want it in my house. I think they smell. I think they make me itchy. No. And that's the other thing, too. Let's say I were to have a
A
family.
lot of dogs do
If I got a
smell.
small child, no, I don't want your big dog around. And I don't care how that sounds, right? Like, I know that this is probably different to a lot of people who absolutely love dogs, but, like, if you feel this way, comment below. I'm genuinely curious. This video has nothing to do with dating. This video has nothing to do with any of that. It's just, like, I don't want to touch your big, slobbery, stinky, hairy dog.
Bro said cancel dogs. Ah, yeah, at the end of the day, it's his preference. Again, I don't have dogs. I'm pretty OCD about cleanliness and hair, and I know people be like, "Oh, get a dog that doesn't shed." There's nothing living that doesn't shed. You know what I mean? So that dog is gonna be shedding in some way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, I grew up with dogs. We had dogs growing up. Most of our dogs were outside dogs. We would bring them inside if there's like a storm, or if one of the dogs were having babies, we'd bring her inside, and we had puppies and stuff. Like it's a lot. We had dogs often. But I just say this: I think people should respect people's boundaries, and I just honestly don't think most dog owners are good owners. They don't spend enough time with their dogs, and people are selfish, so they'll get a dog knowing that they don't have enough time to really put into training to spend with that dog, and then the dog gets maybe 20 minutes outside total, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, and maybe another 5 minutes at night before they go to bed. And then they don't pick up, like, I be on trails, and I'm not even lying, it just be dog poop everywhere. And it's like, man, this is so selfish. You can't even walk on a human walking trail without all this poop everywhere that hasn't been picked up, because people are letting their dogs poop in the grass right near the sidewalk, or even on the sidewalk. Like, I don't walk and not look down even when it's cement, because there's poop there. And that's the stuff that irritate me. Like, that kind of selfishness of dog owners to, like, okay, you have a dog, you can live how you want to live inside your home. But things that I think dog owners should consider is keeping their dogs on leashes and cleaning up after them in public spaces. Like, that's the least you can do. But yeah, and I would listen. I wouldn't have no big dog around my child. Now, I've seen videos where these big dogs are really kind and protective of children, and I love that, man. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of those, when I've seen those videos, they seem to be more like geared towards like well-trained animals. At the end of the day, an animal is an animal, but trained animals. And I love to see when they're disciplined and they're protective. I like that. I've seen Rottweilers, Cane Corsos, Pit Bulls. I love seeing them be protective. Whether it's a child, the father of the home, or the woman, the wife of the home, like you could just tell, like these dogs are like protective, and I like that. But there has to be a level of attentiveness and consideration of people who don't have dogs, and especially in public spaces. You know, they've even having like issues with dogs being put in grocery carts. Like people have been complaining. It's just a lot. But I don't blame the dogs. I blame the dog owners. So it's much less about not liking dogs versus, vetting who's a good dog owner and who isn't, and speaking out to these apartment complexes and housing communities who benefit from it financially, especially apartment complexes, because I found out probably within the past few months that they actually charge dog rent. And I'm like, what? That's why these dog owners be letting their dogs live it up and do whatever they want, because they're like, my dog pay rent here. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'll catch y'all in the next video.